on this stuff. I've been wanting to have an expert to answer me this question because Iran is fighting ISIS. I don't think a lot of the Republican candidates know that this is happening, but don't we have to kind of pick who's the enemy? Because you can't help them both. When you help one, you don't help the other. You are an ally of the other, okay? So whose side are we on? Who's worse, Iran or ISIS? Because if it's ISIS, if they are the really bad people, we shouldn't perhaps be making enemies of Iran. And every time I say that the locals should handle this themselves, the locals being the other Sunni Arab countries, I won't even bring Iran into this. The experts say to me, oh, Bill, it would be great if that could happen, but I'm afraid they just can't do it. So let me ask the deeper question of an expert. Why are Muslim armies in the Middle East so useless? Except for ISIS, Boko Haram, the Taliban, except for the ones that believe in Islamic fundamentalism. Those are really good armies. In fact, we can't defeat them. But the other armies, show that chart that I showed this a few months ago on the show. These are the forces under arms. Egypt, 1.4 million people under arms. Iraq has 800,000. Turkey has almost 1 million. The Saudis and the Kurds have 250,000. Jordan has 180,000. Syria, 600,000. There's over 4 million soldiers. ISIS has about 20 to 30,000. We don't know exactly. They're like Scientology. You can't get... Yeah, look. Look at this. ISIS and the rest of the Sunnis in the Middle East. And they can't take them? So tell me, expert, why are they so useless?
Well, let me give you a little history on this and say that you're absolutely right. U.S. policy... U.S. policy for almost half a century in that region of the world, notwithstanding our overthrow of Mossadegh in '53 and the Shah's collapse in '79 and so forth, which were perturbations, U.S. policy was to be offshore in carrier battle groups, marine amphibious groups, and to move ashore only as it was necessary to protect our interest and keep the peace. That was it. Boots on the ground was out of the question because everyone understood the admonition from the Princess Bride: you don't want to start a land war in Asia. People forget. Iran is in Asia. It's not something we should be doing. I agree with you 100%. It's not something we should be doing. It's something...
And to the question of why they're so useless?
Why they're so useless?
Why 4 million can't defeat 20,000?
A bigger question. Why does the United States always side with the weak government, the lack of courage, the lack of faith, the lack of anything you want to talk about in terms of stamina? Vietnam, look at that government. That government didn't have a country, it had a relationship with the United States. And when a real government came along from Hanoi, it beat them. Look at Iraq, look at Afghanistan. Why do we always pick the places where there's no one to defend?
Where are the lunatics on our side? You know, I mean, it's funny, you know, these Middle Eastern countries, they don't want to get involved in the Middle East.
Yeah. It's too tough.
You know, why are we doing it? It's like when a dad says he's going to babysit. You're not babysitting, they're your kids. Let